Welcome to the Pete Show, or we like to call it the Three Pete's. Is that right?
Three Pete.
I'm Country Pete.
I'm Happy Pete. I'm Stabby Pete.
And today we're going to review a Belgian Tripel from Cynosure Brewing Company in Anchorage. Did I say Cynosure? Is that right? I think I said
Cynosure.
Right. Cynosure. Anyway, it's one of our favorite brewers. They are known mostly for their German lagers, correct? And they're in Anchorage. It's a little brew pub. What do you call it?
Well, they have a tasting room.
They have a tasting room.
They don't have food.
Well, I'd like to say the one thing that I love about their tasting room is they have comfortable chairs for old people's butts. When I get that in there is a big bonus. A bunch of these places you go, they have these big hard metal chairs. Cynosure has top-notch cushy chairs, cushy couch. Very nice, very nice. Anything else you guys want to add about the Cynosure Brewing?
No.
Today we're drinking a Belgian-style Tripel. They just call it Tripel on their menu. It's a just to give you a little definition of what that means. Complex, sometimes mild, spicy flavor characterizes this style. Yeast-driven complexity is common. Triples are often on the higher end of ABV spectrum, yet are approachable to many different palates. These beers are commonly bottle conditioned and finished dry. The Belgian-style Tripel is similar to Belgian-style Golden Strong ales, but are generally darker and have more noticeable malt sweetness.
I think you should skip to the pouring.
Okay.
This
I was gonna put your...
this beer wants to get poured now. Yeah.
It is. It is literally coming off the top.
It's not
Trying
waiting
to
for you.
escape.
Oh. I'm doing a terrible job. I'm taking that one. I do love getting beer in growlers. Just feel like a beer in a growler is considerably better than a beer in a bottle.
Although
I'm not sure why.
it's basically
It is a big bottle.
But I feel like I feel like beer itself is a living organism that enjoys being close to other beer molecules. That's why you should just never drink one beer. You should always drink 2 or 3 beers.
Can't argue with that.
Fair
So it's
enough,
my,
fair enough. I mean, at least 2, yeah.
All right, so we should expect some small, mild, spicy flavors in this one. I do have a very much, it's very floral
Very pretty beer.
nose. Oh, yes.
Very clear golden color.
You can read. Oh, this is a 2010. You know, I haven't gotten one of these in a couple years, guys. We got to go to one of these again. Have you guys been lately?
Not
No,
since
not
the
in a
before
while.
times.
Yes. The last one we have here, we have 2010, 2017,
No, 19.
2017, 2019. These are the Beer and Barley Wine Festivals, our sponsor for today. But yes, we haven't been since 2019, which was before the dark times. Ooh. So good. So glad the dark times are over. See, we can be within 6 feet of each other.
Or close.
Ooh. So I get from the head, I get a very fruity aroma. Am I totally off here?
No, I got a fruity
Oh.
aroma as well.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, I was going to say this. I was going to say it in the last 2. These are brewed. Most of his beers are brewed by that law that they have in Germany.
Purity law.
Huh? The purity law. It's called the
There's a German
Warhol.
name for it. I can't
Warhol or
remember.
something?
Well, you got to be real specific about which German purity law you're talking about. Only the one that applies to
The beer, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I don't know what other purity laws they have in Germany. I thought they were. Anyway, I won't say anything bad about Germany.
Water hops, malt yeast.
Yes, and so I think most of their beers follow that rule at Cynosure. So I get, but for this, I really love how yeast give so many different flavors. Like you can with the hops and the yeast and the malt, you can get such complex flavors out of just 4 ingredients because of the different versions you use. Because this tastes very fruity / flowery to me.
Yeah.
And yet there's no fruit or flowers in it.
There's definitely you can tell it's a stronger beer. There's
Mhm.
definitely
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you look that up?
Some, what the style? Was?
Yeah, the ABV.
Oh, the ABV. Sure.
I think I made you look it up for the other thing, but I didn't
Yeah.
even put it. I
got it.
don't think I recorded it.
Yeah, the ABV 9.4, and the IBU is 34.
34. And can you explain what the IBU is?
International bitterness units.
Ah.
So that gives you an idea of how bitter it is.
It is not very bitter.
Usually I actually seems like most triples I've had are hoppier than this. I actually really like this one because it's
Not
kind
as
of lower
hoppy.
key on the hops than I'm
I
used
agree.
to for a triple.
I agree.
This is also a beer this is a beer they always seem to have on tap there. The triple. It's the triple and the black are ones they always seem to have on tap there. Super tasty. I like this. So a Belgian, regular Belgian, like the golden Belgian and the triple Belgian, what's the difference? You know the difference in that?
Not all the specific
Is it
differences.
triple
but
amount of ingredients?
I think it's pretty close to that.
Oh.
Really, I think there's Belgian and there's double and there's triple, and I think this is just a much stronger version, a lot more malt.
If we're wrong, hit the like and subscribe button, and then tell us why we're wrong. I would like to say on this, so you give us some stats on the beer. It is a 9.4. That is a ABV for a strong. That is a mead ABV.
Well, that's
I mean, it's getting close. Most of the meads I make today are.
it's a strong beer.
Yes, it's yeah.
Which a triple should be.
I think it's a very drinkable beer. The strength is deceptive. If you,
I can't. There's
if
no
I
heat.
didn't know that it was 9.4, I wouldn't be able to tell you that it was 9.4.
Yeah. There's no heat to it all, like on the rating sheet we were looking at. There's no like alcoholic taste or anything like this. I mean, at a 9.4, you might expect to get some. Can we get a napkin, baby?
Paper towel.
You might expect some heat or something off there, but oh, there's the baby.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
heat
you don't notice
on
it.
it.
I just and I feel like this. I feel like when I drink this beer, it's gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound a little country, but I feel like I'm hanging out with a bunch of honeybees, like getting flowers and being around fruit. It feels fruity and flowery and happy.
I disagree. I think it tastes very manly and not fruity at all.
Yes, yes. I was looking for a
Manly
different.
yet floral.
Yeah. Yes. It does have a. But I can't. It's like it's one of those things where you think it's a flower or you think it's a fruit, but you couldn't really put your finger on what kind of fruit or what kind of flower. This is a bright. I guess like what was it like a. One of the reasons I love Hefeweizen is this has that sort of like light flavor, which I find very interesting for the fact that it's a 9.4 ABV. It feels like a lighter beer.
Yeah.
This beer could definitely get you in trouble.
Oh yeah,
It feels like a lighter beer.
this will make you stab somebody.
Maybe let's see. I have another one.
Thank you.
It's definitely got kind of residual malty sweetness though. That kind of lets you know that even though you're not tasting like, hot alcohol-y flavors or anything, kind of lets you know this is probably a fairly strong one.
Yeah, I feel like I've been so beaten down with IPAs. I don't really feel like the hops here is out of balance. It feels very, very balanced with the maltiness. But I feel like I don't. Maybe it's the hops that are giving it the sort of fruity flavor too, and
Depends
the
on what
esters.
hops they use. I mean, definitely hops can add that. But it is an ale. Again, just the yeast can be just giving it some of those.
So I saw on the sheet that I printed out, there's a mouthfeel component.
Oh yes.
So how do you when looking at measuring mouthfeel, what do you think?
So this one definitely has a thicker mouthfeel than, say, the Schwartz beer we tried earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Now would be the time to put the thing. Here's the review.
Yeah, here's the review.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
Right.
That thicker mouthfeel, though, that would be to be expected with a bigger, stronger beer like a Tripel.
So yeah,
I noticed that more.
Like watching reviews on TV and stuff. They say that like the ones with the less mouthfeel feel more watery. I didn't feel like the black lager we had earlier was watery, but I definitely feel like this has a fuller taste. My mouth has a more.
Yeah, it's not like silky or anything like that, or velvety, but it's definitely more, just more of a feel there.
And this is an IBU of 34, which is basically just the hoppiness of it, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about that earlier.
The bitterness from the hops, yeah.
Now I don't know if it didn't have much carbonation to begin with, but the carbonation seems to have left it pretty quickly.
I think it had quite a bit. It seemed like it was kind of foaming up out just when Country Pete opened it. And I still notice it.
I didn't taste it.
There's not many bubbles coming up
now.
There's carbonation. Doesn't seem to have lasted.
Yeah,
there's some beers that they're.
Oh, that's super
you
foamy.
See bubbles the whole time.
Yeah,
but it did say here that these were normally
bottle conditioned.
Bottle conditioned. It might be it. Maybe I know when I bottle condition it, it's not as foamy as when I force condition it or whatever. But I don't know how they do it at the Cynosure if they force carbonate. Probably they do.
Don't know. I would assume so, unless I knew otherwise. But
so I would say. So let's get to the rating part of the thing. If I was going to do an untapped rating for this, who wants to go first? I should say.
I would give it a 4.
4. What about you, Stabby Pete?
Nice.
I would put it a little bit lower, maybe 3.5, 3.75.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because I don't rate on Untapped based on how a beer is within that style. I rate simply about how much I like that particular beer.
I will.
So I like it, and I would definitely drink it again, and I'll finish this one. I'll probably get another. But
I surely hope so.
It's not
a lot left.
It's not my favorite style of beer. It's not, it's. But it's very, very solid, very good beer.
So I would rate it a 3.75. But I like it. I would drink it again. It is. Give it a 3.75. My rating. Although I would just say on the Untapped where I do rate most of the beers I drink, I would just never give an IPA a rating of anything like above a 2 if I was doing that. So sometimes I do give ratings a bump up to above 3 if I think they're good for their style. Like so, a lot of times I will give an IPA a 3 or a 3.25, even if it's has way too high IBU for me, way too hoppy for me. I still will give it. I'll give you a 3 because I know that you're good for what you're supposed to be trying to do. I feel terrible giving them like a 1 or something because they're doing.
I'm perfectly happy giving IPAs a 1.
Yeah, I understand that.
They're lucky they get a 1.
Yes. But I don't know if you'd ever buy an IPA anymore. I think you only rate IPAs now if you go to the store with us and we share one with you or something.
If I'm not paying for it, I will certainly try it. I'll most likely dislike it, but I'll drink it and I'll rate it.
Yeah, I mean pretty much we'll try any beer that I don't have to pay for.
I mean, what's the best beer?
Free beer. So you gave it a pretty good score.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So I just rated this on Untapped and got a couple of badges. One of them,
Badge Master.
middle of the road, level 38, which that means I've had 190 beers with an ABV greater than 5 but less than 10.
Wow.
And I also got
Yes.
Land of the Free, level 83, which is
more before we get finished up.
415 different beers from a brewery in the United States.
Someone is a very good drinker of beers on Untapped. I got my level 5 the other day.
What's Untapped?
Untapped, it's social networking.
So you never
for-
drink alone.
Yes, for beer drinkers. You never drink alone, and you can reach fabulous goals while drinking.
No, I've never done this before, where I pour the growler back at me. It's actually working pretty good. I actually like that more than I thought I would.
See, we're all learning.
Learning today.
We're all learning.
It's a learning episode. Anything else we want to talk about this beer? Anything we want to add? This bill, I'm sure this beer would be approved by Samuel L. Jackson. Because it'll get you drunk! I 9.4 is, I can still say, that's a pretty,
It's a pretty strong beer.
yeah, this will get you in trouble.
I mean, it's no Samichlaus, which is like 14 or something %. But
So you've actually been to Germany before and had German beers and in Germany.
That sounds more like a barley wine or
Yeah.
something.
well, the only times I've been to Germany is very short periods. When I came back from Iraq in 2009, we stopped to refuel for a little while, and my buddy's girlfriend met him there at the airport. We got
Nice.
a 6-pack of, I don't even remember what German beer there at the PAX terminal in Ramstein. And it was the first beer I'd had in 6 months.
Oh.
And it was fantastic.
I bet.
Yeah, I'm not a religious man, but I would totally choose Christianity over most of the other religions. Because the monks have a very good relation to beer.
Yeah, really, I mean, the best Catholicism's greatest contribution is the Trappist ales.
Yes, it is. I still find it amazing that the Catholic Church made most of its money early on in its life because it knew the recipe for that thing before they had hops. Well, I can't remember what it was called, but they were the ones, the monks were the ones that knew that recipe for, I don't remember the name of it now. But that was one of the ways they were able to make tons of their money, because they actually were able to make beer taste good and not taste so sweet, because they were able to add this thing before they found hops.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I've been trying to. I remember the name of it now. Add it in post. I'll put it right here. I'll get.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
That's the name of it right there. But yeah, so it's always like how much beer drinking and stuff is actually attached to Catholic Church. Has always been interesting to me. Did you know that before with the new times, that most beers were 2 or 3%? Like in ancient times and growing times, beers were super. The strongest alcoholic beverage you could get was wine at 8%. Like some of the wines they made in Rome, they think were 8% wines, but everything else was 2
And
or
even
3%.
then, they would often water it down.
Yeah.
When they drink it.
I remember reading that in one of the books I read, one of the Plato books I was reading. They were talking about watered down wine or whatever. Interesting.
You know, there's kind of a urban mythology about beer, like especially like U.S. colonial times and 18th, 19th centuries, that people drank beer so much because of it's a way of having clean water to drink.
Yeah.
Because the alcohol would kill whatever nasty stuff was in it. It's only partially true. One of the main reasons they drank beer, even low alcohol beer, is because they liked drinking beer.
Yes. And life is hard. Beer is good.
Yep.
That's very a true statement. I don't have anything else to add. I do not have a cool quote for this one. This review. I will have my other cool review for the next week. Or
you guys should have some kind of sign off thing like cheers or clinking across or something that you should do.
Hey,
does everyone have any?
Hit like and subscribe and have a beer with us and tell us how we're so wrong about everything we said today.